What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Moto Vlog. I know it's been a while since I've updated something or uploaded something, especially since I got this new bike. I got the Harley Davidson Fat Bob 114 cubic inch. All right, guys. Here she is. Here she is. 2019, I picked it up not too long ago, and I love it. We're just on a ride today. I got one of my buddies up front on his Harley Fat Bob. I think it's like a 2006. Partner in the back on a Triumph, a 2017 Triumph, 2017 or 2018 Triumph T120. So some nice bikes. And a beautiful road, as you guys can see right now. Just thought I'd flip the camera on now and capture it. I'm not quite at 1,000 kilometers yet, because I want to do a 1,000 kilometer review. I'm at 935 kilometers. This is only the beginning of the ride. We're going to be going into the mountains and stuff, so hopefully I have enough space on my memory card and battery and all that good stuff. But I just wanted to touch base with you guys. I still got the Triumph. I am selling it. And I kind of want to do a comparison video, even though these two bikes are supremely different from one another. Like, the way that the power is distributed, it's just so different. The styles, the seating position, everything about the bikes are so different. They're both great bikes, though. Matter of fact, the other day I hopped on my Triumph just to go to the gas station to pick some stuff up, and like I had to reorient. Like, I was confused. My legs felt out of place. My feet didn't know where to go. The power was janky. Like, it was just weird. Like, the power is so readily available. Stand by. And don't get me wrong, this thing has plenty of power as it is. Like, overtaking, no problem. It's 1868 cc. I mean, it's got power. It weighs about 680 pounds. So, you know, I think I'll get into, you know, things that what I don't like about the bike. Let's go with that. And these are, I mean, I'm nitpicking because don't get it twisted. I love the bike. Absolutely love it. I hope for this to be my forever bike. You know, the bike that I always hang on to. There are a few things that I would change. The first thing that I'll tell you guys, and obviously this bike isn't made for touring. This bike isn't made for long distance as far as I'm aware. This seems to be a bike that you kind of cruise around town. You could commute with it if you'd like. You know, an hour in the saddle, hour and a half at that mark is where my butt starts to ache. One thing that I'll do to this bike is change the seat. I'll get a gel seat. Now, we've been riding, I think we're going to about 50 minutes, and I feel fine. I feel comfortable. I mean, in about 30 minutes or so, I might be like, yeah, I might need a little break. But you could power through to 2 hours. It's not horrible, guys. But again, this bike is not made for super long distances as it is, so a gel seat can remedy that in no time. So that's one thing, one criticism that I have. If there was a gel seat that came stock with this bike, I know that's crazy talk, that would be awesome in terms of, you know, saddle time. Another big thing for me, although it's something that I could live with, the pipes are quiet on this bike, guys. The stock pipes on these Harleys are quiet. Now, the guy up front with his Fat Bob, he got, or Fat Boy, he got some aftermarket pipes on there, and those things howl. They are loud. The upside is, yes, they're loud. They sound great. People know that you're there. The downside is when you got to wake up at 4:30 in the morning for work, and you got neighbors, and nobody wants to hear that idling, warming up for 5-10 minutes before you go to work. These pipes that I have on are, I think, a little too quiet, though. Like, it's good, like, when you wake up in the morning, start your bike, come home, like, early in the morning if you're working the night shift. It's good. You're not bothering anybody, right? The bad thing is that sometimes the wind noise that I get from riding, it's louder than my motorcycle. So the pipes, what I want to do in the meantime, I don't know if I'll do a full exhaust system. I'm in no rush to do anything like that to the bike, but I will potentially get Reinhardt slip-ons by next season. Another thing, oh yes, the Tack over here, you kind of have to take your eyes off the road to really orient yourself and actually read the displays. So I would, and it all goes with the profile of the bike. I get it. Like, the handlebars up top here, it's all clear. All you see is road. On my Triumph, the Tack is about over here. So you're not really taking your eyes off the road. You have to go down like that to look at your Tack. And I could appreciate it. It's bittersweet because, yeah, you kind of just want to enjoy the ride, not have to worry about all these displays and gauges and all that stuff. But, checking the speed limit, checking the time, checking how much fuel to empty, that kind of stuff. It would be nice if it was, I don't want to say I would change it because I won't. I really do like the way it looks down here. But it is kind of one of those things where a creature comfort would be to have it, up here right in front of you. The mirrors aren't horrible. I do find that I have to pull in my shoulders because, yes, my shoulders are so broad. I have to pull in my shoulders to get a good view of what's behind me. I don't see myself changing these mirrors. Like, down the road, I might invert them, but in the meantime, these are manageable. No real complaint other than the fact that I do have to, tuck my shoulders in, tuck my arms in to really get a good picture of what's behind me. What else do we got here? This is all off the top, guys. This is all off the top. I think we might have to go to things that I like about the bike. And there are a lot of things that I like about the bike. The first and foremost, the thing that actually caught my attention about this bike was the aesthetics. How the bike looks. The bike looks absolutely gorgeous. It is unique. It's not normal. It is, not your typical Harley. This bike has a lot of character. And it's one of those bikes where you either love it or you hate it. I know a lot of guys, they don't like the rectangular headlight. I love it. Absolutely love it. Just because it's different. I like things that are different. So the general appearance of the bike is awesome. I absolutely love this bike. I love, starting it up, walking up to it. I love riding it. It's just enjoyable knowing that you're on a cool bike. It looks awesome. It's just, the aesthetic is awesome, number one. The seating position. Now, forward controls, I never really thought that I would be for forward controls, but it's actually quite comfortable. And I feel confident and planted on the bike. Now, on my Triumph with the mid controls, you have that aggressive stance, you have that nimbleness, and you have that, you're just ready to move and zip through traffic. Whereas with forward controls, you don't really feel that. I mean, you can zip through traffic, but the other stance on a mid-control bike, it's more sporty, more aggressive, more ready, it feels like. This is a comfortable, relaxed stance. Legs are kind of forward, not as forward as guy up front with his Fat Boy. He got his legs all the way extended out, which is probably pretty comfortable, I can't lie. Oh yes, and while I'm even speaking about the seated position, one of the negatives, and I'll tell you this, it's a positive and a negative. The negative about the seating position of the forward controls is that pretty much when you're sitting down, it's all ass. What I mean by that is that on my Triumph, with the mid controls, when my butt and legs got a little cramped and tired, I could just stand up on my pegs. easily. This bike is not so easy to do that. This bike, your legs are forward, so you're not be able to really stand up on the bike and maintain your balance, or maybe I just can't do that. So it's all butt. It's hard to explain, but hopefully that gives you a good picture. It's all butt. Not a picture of my butt, but you know what? I think I might have to be going in and out between likes and dislikes. One dislike or another dislike will be the rear brake. So the rear brake, which is activated by this pedal down here, my right foot, it feels a little weak compared to my Triumph. You really do have to press down on it to actually activate it. I don't know if that's because I'm still breaking it in, but it is a pretty stark difference from my Triumph with the Brembo brakes. Makes me wonder if the rear brakes on my Triumph are Brembo as well. I know the front brakes for sure. It makes sense. But the rear brake does seem a little underwhelming on this Fat Bob. No qualms about the front brake at all. That is crazy. Oh man, that's awesome. Guys, I don't know where I left off the video, but pretty much we stopped at one time just to hear a little story about the area. Alright guys, we are back and on the road. We're about an hour away from food, and I did not eat breakfast this morning, so I am eager. Another thing that while I was riding I began to think about for pros and cons, and you know, likes and dislikes. Engine braking on this bike, it's decent. It's not as good as on my Triumph. Again, completely different bikes, but it was something that I had to get used to. You know, because you do have to get used to engine braking to know, you know, how far you should start engine braking, if that makes any sense. So it's not as good. Oh, those clouds are looking a little heavy above us, folks. I think that this bike, being over 20K Canadian, should have come with heated grips or at least cruise control. I think they could have added that, to be honest with you. At the very least, heated grips. Because that will be something that I potentially will be putting on this bike. Oh man, I don't know if this GoPro is going to be able to capture the absolute beauty and magnitude of these mountains. But let me tell you something, it is absolutely gorgeous. It looks like we're going to get rain, man. In terms of range, guys, like my last stop, we filled up, and I've only put like $5 Canadian in there. And once I filled up, it gave me an estimated range of 300 kilometers. Right now, I have 236 left, so I mean, yeah, I'm still breaking it in, but the gas mileage is better than I thought it would be. There's a 13.6 liter tank. So my Triumph is bigger, but it's pleasantly surprising me.
And my leather gets so much nicer.
Well guys, we are on our way back. We had lunch at the Kananaskis Resort, or what's it called, Kananaskis Village or something like that. Stomachs are full, bladders are empty, and you know what, on the way to the resort we actually got rained on. I was dreading it, but I knew it was coming. It wasn't too bad, but it was bad enough. But yeah guys, just enjoy the rest of the ride. If you ride, ride safe. If you drive, drive safe. And if you walk, just be safe. Thanks for watching another episode. See you guys in the next.